Blue Origin gets another award, and Bezos commits to doubling his time with a struggling company. Let's go. Yes, you heard that right. No, I'm not being repetitive from the last episode. Yes, they did win a lunar landing project from Step 2 program last week, but on Friday, Space Force announced that they were awarding almost $25 million to Blue Origin to continue development of their rocket. U.S. Space Force awards $87.5 million to Rocket Lab, SpaceX, Blue Origin, ULA for next-gen rocket testing. According to TechCrunch, the U.S. Space Force, the military branch spun out of the Air Force in December 2019, has announced its next batch of awards and projects related to next-gen rocket engines, testing, and upper stage improvements. The awards were granted by the Space Enterprise Consortium, or SPEC, a program managed by Space Force's Space Systems Command. SPEC facilitates engagement between the U.S. Department of Defense and the space industry by allowing its nearly 600 members to compete for contracts. The awards, which total $87.5 million, were granted to 4 launch companies. Blue Origin will receive $24.3 million to develop cryogenic fluid management for upper stage of the New Glenn rocket. United Launch Alliance, ULA, will get $24.3 as well for uplink command and control of its new Vulcan Centaur 2-stage heavy lift rocket. Rocket Lab, whose contract award was also $24.3 million, was one of its highest in its company's history. Those funds will go to upper stage development of the company's forthcoming Neutron medium lift rocket. SpaceX will get $14.4 million for combustion stability analysis and testing of its Raptor rocket engine. SpaceX and ULA are already established launch providers for the US government under the Space Force National Security Space Launch Program. Both Rocket Lab and Blue Origin will be able to compete for the next series of launch procurement contracts in 2024. These latest contracts are a sign that the two companies are gearing up to submit their bids. Regarding the new award, Rocket Lab CEO Peter Beck said in a statement that it is a vote of confidence in the Neutron rocket. We've built a trusted launch system with the Electron, and we'll do it again with the Neutron to continue providing unfettered access to space with our new heavier lift vehicle. So of the $87.5 million that Space Force doled out to 4 separate companies, I'm really not that angry about it. Listen, there's 3 equal shares here. One part going to Blue Origin, the other to ULA, and the last to my sleeper, Rocket Lab. Sure, SpaceX only got about 14 and some change million, but really when you look at the development for these companies and what stage they're in for their next-gen rockets, the allocation made sense to me. One might think that I am anti-Blue Origin and anti-Jeff Bezos, but I'm not in terms of a space race or a tech race. But I do like the fact that he's a very rich man and he has the resources and power to push another rocket into space. And with more companies representing more rockets, our United States government, Space Force, DoD, they all have different vehicles to take their stuff to space. That means less money to get it there in some cases, but also means a lot of reliable options. I'm really excited about Rocket Lab. I have been for a long time. I haven't detailed them and I may detail them. I must admit I am an investor early on in their IPO. I really like their technology. I like where they're launching from. Maybe I will do another story on them, but know that this represents a really cool milestone in funding as well because they included Rocket Lab in this chain with the 3 other players. So for me, it represents Rocket Lab getting a seat at the table. And for that, I'm really happy. But speaking of Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin, it sounds like he's gonna dedicate a bit more time. And it comes at a really crucial point for them because they gotta get those BE4s out and they certainly have some expectations to meet. Michael Sheets of CNBC reports Jeff Bezos doubles time with Blue Origin to focus more on his space company. Jeff Bezos has called Blue Origin his life's most important work, and the hours he's devoting to the space company are growing accordingly. Bezos has long dedicated Wednesdays afternoons to either updates or discussions at Blue Origin. However, within the past month, he also added Tuesday afternoons as well. While Jeff Bezos' increased engagement with the company has been previously reported, just how much he's involved with Blue Origin has not. Because Bezos is one of the richest people in the world and is still involved at Amazon as the company's executive chairman, demands on his time are high, so spending twice as much time with the space company represents a significant added commitment. His double effort comes at a critical moment in Blue Origin's history. The company is locked in a fierce court battle over NASA's award of a multi-billion-dollar lunar lander contract to Elon Musk's SpaceX. A key customer of its BE-4 rocket engine is becoming increasingly vocal after years of delay. Blue Origin's first orbital rocket is similarly years behind schedule, and its suborbital space research and tourism business is now underway in earnest. Blue Origin's technology company is also facing a new obstacle in the form of departing top talent, as CNBC reported in August. Disagreement with decisions made by Blue Origin CEO Bob Smith was the most common reason senior leaders and engineers cited as why they were leaving. Smith is a former Honeywell executive Bezos hired to run the company in 2017. It is unclear whether Bezos is also investing more heavily in Blue Origin. In 2017, he said he would be selling $1 billion a year of Amazon stock to fund Blue Origin development. But recently, he has increased those stake sales without indicating whether all of those funds are going to the space company. Bezos, who stepped down as Amazon CEO in July, is also paying attention to how the two companies he founded might interact. Blue Origin senior leadership has held regular meetings about winning the contracts to launch Amazon's Project Kuiper internet satellites, people told CNBC. But after the United Launch Alliance, the rocket-building joint venture of Boeing and Lockheed Martin, won the first Amazon launch deal earlier this year, Bezos has begun sitting in on Blue Origin Kuiper meetings, those people have said. Amazon, when it announced the ULA 9 launch contract in April, emphasized that multiple launch partners will be required to launch the 3,235 Kuiper satellites. That leaves the door open for Blue Origin to grab the next one. This time, perhaps with the help of the man who knows Amazon better than anyone else on the planet, Jeff Bezos. I think it's great that Jeff Bezos is focusing one additional day on Blue Origin. I personally think he could use all week because he's facing a lot of problems internal to Blue Origin. First and foremost, the delay of the BE-4 engines is causing problems for his longtime partner ULA, as well as his parent company Amazon. You see, BE-4 being delayed has also delayed ULA's new second-gen rocket, the Vulcan. Further, Project Kuiper needs to have all of its satellites in orbit by 2029, and half of those satellites need to be in place by 2026. They've yet to launch one. Their solution? Partner with ULA to push their satellites into orbit. Now, if they don't get those satellites in orbit, the FCC is going to pull their license. The other issue, they're having trouble holding on to talent. Many folks have left to either go to their competitors or to start their own small rocket companies. My hope that their new focus on Blue Origin and this recent funding pushes them over the finish line. Because even though I'm hard on Jeff himself, I really do want to see Blue Origin succeed, and I'd like to see another rocket company here in America. The Space Force Award is really good for the industry. First, it's really great to see that these awards are going to help these next-gen rockets from all these companies push what's possible, and again with a renewed investment in sustainable use. You see, if we're going to be in space, we need to make sure it's a sustainable industry. And with that, these next-gen rockets are going to be using reusable parts, have more efficient ways of delivery, and give the United States a plethora of options in order to launch into space. Not only that, it will give private industry a way to get their technology into space as well. I'm super happy that my sleeper and one of my favorites, Rocket Lab, is now at the table and getting some of that funding. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with their new Neutron rocket. Overall, great news for the industry, and I'm excited to see what this new round of funding brings these different rocket companies. Well, I'm Hill Phantom. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you next time.